Well, listen, me no know about you, but me know say in a this country, America, racism is worse than the deadliest cancer that them have. Because racism is kept in isolation. And the thing is, whether is white a show it against blacks, or blacks a show it against white, or whichever color or ethnic group a show it against the other, the fact is it is disproportionately, treacherously, genocidally embedded in the fabric that is America. And this woman, Jane Elliot, as you can see, white skinned woman, a lot of white people over the years, when I'm taking care of them in the hospitals, have whispered in my ears similar truths, but openly them not gonna say it. Over the years, many of them have whispered in my ear similar truths. So, in my efforts now, as I think about it, after so many years of taking care of sick people all over this country, them call America. All right, from coast to coast, I have been there, taking care of them. White, black, whichever race, ethnic group, whatever. The whole of them. Me have that record. Me have that experience. This woman here, and I tell you, Billy Graham did even say the same thing, Father Billy Graham, the evangelistic preacher there. Him say, of course, Jesus was a black man. And people never want, people just kind of shrug that off, really. And them know the truth. People in America know the truth. White people in America know the truth. Now, how are we gonna get things straightened out and to a much better situation if we don't come face to face with the truth? What Biden is trying to do right now, as another white skinned man who have seen the truth and know the truth, is a similar thing. So I have borrowed Jane Elliott's this clip here for show it again in the hopes that people will wise up. Because I tell you what, when you work in a life-saving situation like how I have worked for over 50 plus years, saving people's lives, color of skin don't matter. Where them come from don't matter. Me have that record behind me, and anybody can check out what me I tell them. Talk to whomever me used to work with and work for. Hospitals from all over, internationally too. Ask the people them. I gonna play what this woman, Jane Elliott, is saying. I want you to listen up. Listen closely to what she's saying. Listen.
Was born and raised in school in the United States of America. If you aren't a racist, you're a miracle. Either that or you decided to educate yourself. Because education in this country is about white is right, brown's all right, black's got to stand back. Yellow's mellow, but whites, we educate in a way that says that white males have done all the adventures, have made all the adventures, have done all the discovering, have made all everything that is good and has been accomplished according to social studies, which is actually anti-social studies, by white males. It's a lie. But we do that in order to maintain the myth of white superiority. The myth of race has to be maintained at all costs in this country. Because if white people have to give up the color of their skin as being something that makes them perfect, what do they have left? If we start teaching the truth about history, if we start teaching about Nile Valley contributions to civilization, it will totally change the way we conduct ourselves in the classroom. It will have to. Columbus didn't discover America. You can't discover a place where people are already living. But we celebrate that every October. It's a lie. We need to get over it. We need to stop telling the myths and start telling the truth.
So when you tell people that they're racist, and it must have some kind of effect, because most people will say, I'm not racist.
I'm not a racist. Why, some of my best friends are black. Yeah, and then you say, name one. Or this one, I don't see color. And when some woman says to me, I don't see color, I say, I knew that. If you saw color, you wouldn't dye your hair that way. Or I say, if you saw color, you wouldn't wear that shirt with those pants. I believe that you don't see color. It's an attempt to deny skin color. And it's an attempt to deny what's wrong with seeing the color of my skin. Is it all right for you to see me kind of pink? That's okay for me. I don't mind. And I suspect that you don't mind being seen the color you are. You have a right to be what you are. And until people in this country and people in this world get it into their heads that the first modern human beings that evolved on this earth were black women. They evolved in sub-Saharan Africa about 280,000 years ago. And every human being on the face of the earth today has the memory of those black women's genetic structure in their genes. Now, we don't want to admit that, but that's the way it is. And as people moved farther and farther from the equator, their bodies produced less and less melanin, so their hair, their skin, and their eyes got lighter. As they moved into the east, they ate a lot of fish and a lot of vegetables, so their skin took on a different tone. I found that out when I was raising little kids. My husband worked in a supermarket. He was the head of the produce department. And they had lots of oranges that they couldn't sell, so he'd bring them home. And I was feeding my kids orange juice like you never saw in your life. They began to have an orange cast to their skin. I thought they had a liver problem. So I took her to the doctor, and she said, what are you feeding these kids? I said, well, lots of orange juice. She said, stop it if you want them to stop being orange. Now, if you think that skin color isn't anything other than the body's natural reaction to the natural environment, get over it.
So, if all white people are racist, according to you, can they be reprogrammed?
Of course they can. Of course they can. Of course they can be. It's called education. I'm an educator. The word educator comes from the root deus, which means lead, the prefix e, which means out, the suffix ate, which means the act of, and the suffix or, which means one who does. An educator is one who is engaged in the act of leading people out of ignorance.
Yeah, I want you to watch this too. Watch this. We're talking about racism. Watch this.
Good morning, officers. How may I help you?
Does an Antonio Hernandez live here?
I've never heard that name before. Did somebody say he lived here?
No, we have a strong lead suggesting that he lives in this neighborhood.
Why would you assume he lived here? This is a big neighborhood.
Well, we've been patrolling this neighborhood this morning, and this is the only house that has a Hispanic resident.
What exactly are you suggesting?
Well, we saw you enter the residence 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, and?
Well, Antonio Hernandez is Hispanic, and so are you, right?
Are you suggesting that all Hispanics are related?
Look, I don't like your attitude. Go ahead and keep your hands where I can see them. I'm getting a little hot.
See him so them go on, you know. See him so them go on.
Because I'm asking the appropriate questions.
Yeah, but watch this. See him so them go on, you know.
Good morning, officers. Is there something I can help you with?
How many of you people live here?
What do you mean, you people?
Subjugate black people. Notice the word what them I
If you
use.
continue to be hostile, we're going to have to use force.
You don't tell me what to do. I'm in my own house.
We don't know that it's your own house. How do we know you didn't break in?
Well, when you came and knocked on my door, I was here, right? So what makes you think I would break into someone's house and open the door for them? You sound real stupid and illiterate.
All right, miss. Come along. Are you assaulting a police officer?
No, you're on my property. It's called freedom of speech. You touch me, I didn't touch you.
Well, we are the law, and whatever we do is legal.
My husband's gonna give you what you deserve.
Oh, so you're making threats now? Where is your husband? Go
I
ahead.
saw them set up stuff.
Criminal too.
You don't even know who her husband is.
We don't care who her husband is.
Call him.
Is everything okay?
Watch this.
The ex officers there.
Officers, what seems to be the problem here? Chief, we had no idea this was your house. Well, that's not what I asked you. I asked you what the problem was. See, I see tears in my wife's eyes, and her friend here looks terrified. So I'm gonna need some answers. We were just looking for... Stand at attention when you're talking to me. Now tell me what happened. We were just looking for a suspect, Antonio Hernandez. So why are you at my house? Just asking the lady some friendly questions. What I heard didn't sound friendly. Yeah, I heard the whole thing from upstairs in my bathroom.
Why don't you tell him how you threatened us and criminalized us and how you make the law? Why don't you tell him that?
Right.
I deeply apologize for the misunderstanding.
You apologize? The only reason why you're apologizing is because you found out who my husband is.
That's right.
God only knows what would have happened to us.
That's right.
And save your apology.
But I've come in and shot you like Breonna Taylor.
No, sir. No, that did not happen. Then explain to me what happened. Sir, we were doing a regular routine investigation, and we questioned these ladies, and they began to get hostile with us, so...
This is the big lie. Check this out.
The situation...
I saw some of them go on.
So you're telling me these two women with no weapons scared two strong, armed police officers?
Armed, right.
Or was it the color of their skin that triggered you?
Talk to them, Chief.
Not at all.
Didn't you say the whole reason you came to this house is because I was Hispanic?
Oh, no. That is not what I said. Let me tell you what's going to happen here. What division are you guys with? North Collins Division, sir. Well, you no longer work there. As of right now, you're both officially fired. This is not what you're trained to do, and this is not what the police department stands for.
Talk to them, Chief.
I'll press charges against you. Sir, please. I can't lose my job. I have a family that depends on me. Yeah, so did Breonna Taylor. So did George Floyd. And the millions of other innocent minorities who were killed by cops.
Talk to them, Chief.
I'm begging your forgiveness. My forgiveness? Let me ask you a question. If my wife were white, would you have treated her the way you did today? We were not trying to treat her any kind of way. No, it was a total misunderstanding.
Yeah, misunderstanding. You
Tell me
asshole.
the truth right now. No, Chief. My point exactly. The only reason you guys are sorry is because of who I am. If you didn't know, this situation would have went horribly wrong today. Now head down to your division and turn in your badge and your guns. Somebody will have your paperwork ready. I'm sorry, Chief, sir. I apologize. I'm so... Hey, this type of behavior will no longer be tolerated.
Talk to them, Chief. I hope all that can change situation. Rastafari. The truth. And them do it all the time to people. All the time.
Charles and Bradley.
Racism, man.